This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com. Just got one of my new sweaters in here from my Teespring store with my Hannibal face on it. For some people didn't like my old hoodie that I used to wear that had a strip club I used to work at on it. So now I have my own Hannibal one, and if you go to the HannibalTV.com and click on our merch store, or you go in the description of this video and click on our merchandise link, you could buy this as well as the Hannibal TV coffee mugs, fanny packs, t-shirts, all kinds of great merchandise. Mr. Football 619 says Joey Ryan is trash. I agree on that. Hello, Hurricane Maverick. Raw did a 0.57 rating last night. This is my daily news update. The draft special, which is just a ratings grab. They never actually separate the brands. They don't even have touring going on right now. So it's not like there's two touring brands. And even in the draft specials themselves, they didn't separate the brands. That both brands were on them. So all it is a ratings grab, and it did work. SmackDown was up slightly, and Raw was 0.57, which is still lower than last year, but up a little bit from the previous week. PW Insider, is reporting that Joey Ryan, who made news earlier this year for Colt Cabana kissing his dick in a match, and he's true trash in my opinion. He had about 17 speaking out accusations against him. Some of these accusations led to Impact Wrestling getting rid of him back in, let's see here. Let me read my notes here. They got rid of him due to the allegations on June 22nd. He was supposed to be employed with them through August 2021. So he's suing them for $10 million now for breach of contract. Well, Impact wrestlers are not paid very well. I am interviewing Rob Van Dam Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. He was probably was the highest paid Impact wrestler. He's no longer with them. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. He definitely deserved to be the highest paid one. But most of the Impact wrestlers make practically nothing. So it's funny because he was basically released a year and 2 months early from his contract, and he's alleging that they now owe him $10 million. I highly doubt that 14 months left on his contract was worth $10 million. I don't even know if Impact, the company, is worth $10 million because no one watches it. Natty Neidhart, who I used to be friends with, haven't seen her for many years, but she got her tooth knocked out in the mixed brand ladies battle royal on Raw last night. She's married to TJ Wilson, who I still consider a friend of mine. So I wish her speedy recovery. You should get a gold tooth to replace it. That's what I did when I had one of my teeth knocked out. Ivelisse, who I interviewed recently, has officially signed with AEW, by the way. She's announced that. And another thing about Joey Ryan, by the way, that's filed several lawsuits now. I did hear on the Wrestling Observer Radio that they said, well, he probably doesn't have to pay legal fees. The lawyers that he's paying are probably just taking a percentage of whatever money, if he's able to collect any money. But you still have to pay disbursements. You end up having to pay a lot of fees here and there to keep lawsuits going. And $10 million for the 14 months he had left on an Impact contract. I don't know. That seems a little out there. Hurricane Maverick says they should just give him a turd. Sophie Marie does not approve of that. I don't think so. Sally Field, can I post the full Chris Masters shoot? It was a live shoot. It's always been posted. It's rare because now all of my interviews are online, because with the lockdown, I can't even go to the States anymore. And they've recently locked us down more here in Canada, by the way. So if you live in the States, count your blessings, because they just love taking away our freedoms here in Canada. Nicholas says the WWE Raw draft sucks. Hurricane Maverick says that piece of crap is suing for $10 million. What a piece of crap. Well, he's not going to get it, because what's his basis? If you lose 14 months of pay for shitty Impact pay, suddenly you're entitled to $10 million because they fire you because you have 17 allegations against you. Sally Field says, what a joke. I agree. Comedian Eric, I should interview Chris Jericho. Maybe one day. I was more of a fan of Jericho in WCW. I really haven't been a fan of him since his WCW days. Big Trips, why did Ric Flair say no to an interview with me? Because he didn't want to do an interview with me. I've told that story. He had no lineup. It was at the Rhode Island Comic Con. There was literally nobody. And I interviewed many wrestlers that day, as well as actors. And I had met Ric Flair previously a bunch of times, but obviously he didn't remember me. But I came up and I asked if I could have like a 5-minute interview with him. Again, he had no lineup. He said no. He's entitled to say no. I actually don't hold that against him. Sam Lenz says it's a scandemic F Trudeau. Well, it's not just Trudeau. The other political parties, it's not the Liberal Party that's in charge of Ontario that they've just locked us down further here. It's the progressive conservatives and a guy that I have no respect for named Doug Ford. Either Doug Ford or Rob Ford. I don't even know. The brother who died because he was fucking fat. Here's the funny thing. There's a Doug and a Rob Ford. I don't even know which one is still the governs us. But the brother died at a young age because he was fat. So, of course, the current guy closes all the gyms because they don't feel gyms are important, even though that's what ended up killing his brother. Sophie says that New Brunswick is in the orange phase of COVID. 100 degrees in San Diego. Lucky you. It's cold here in Canada, at least in Ottawa, Canada. Yeah, we've covered Lars Sullivan to death here lately. Comedian, check out our videos on him. I don't want to say anything more about him today. It's amazing that he's the most talked about thing in wrestling right now. Shows how shitty wrestling is. Mike says hello from San Jose. 90s car guy says F Ric Flair. I don't have anything against Ric Flair, just for the record. I actually like him. I'll probably never get an interview with him because WWE just re-signed him and they're going to keep him locked up as long as AEW is around. Raven fan 842. Have I met Sheldon Benjamin? Yes. He actually wrestled for Great North Wrestling a couple of years ago. The show is on here. You could watch it. Sheldon Benjamin, Great North Wrestling. Charles says, I don't know what he's even saying that for. He was saying this comment about the guy we had a guy this Doug or Rob Ford guy that died, he was also known for smoking crack. Rob Ford is the one that died. Doug Ford is the current one. Thanks for clearing that up, Dr. X. They both suck, in my opinion. Sam says, yeah, I remember the big fat cokehead. Of course they closed the gym, that Ford family, because, you know, they were never known for taking care of themselves. PWC, would I consider getting a shoot with the Headbangers? I did do a short one with them on here. I don't know how much views they would draw. Sam Lentz would like to see Lars Sullivan as a tag team with Joey Ryan. I'd like to see them both out of the wrestling business. There's already enough shit in the wrestling business. Both of these guys do nothing for the good of the wrestling business. They should both be gone. Will I change the name of my wrestling company when I move to Arizona? We'll worry about that when the time comes. Even if I live in Arizona, there's still towns that I'll run in Canada, yearly towns that I've run every year for like 13 or 14 years that I'll probably always run here and there. But would I run events in Arizona? Yes. 90s car guy says he's from Pennsylvania. He even knows about the fat Ford guy that died. Michael Mercury, what the F? Did some guy kiss Joey Ryan's penis? It was Colt Cabana, AEW superstar. Alexander Ramos says the Bruise Brothers as an interview. I don't even know who they are. Hurricane Maverick, I can't even say that without getting in trouble. Mr. Big tips me $5. Thank you, Mr. Big. Keep up the great show. What do I think of Eddie Van Halen passing? What kind of music do I listen to? I like a lot of different music. Hair metal is my favorite music. I was never that big of a fan of Van Halen, though, to be honest with you. I remember that they had the Running with the Devil song in Ready to Rumble. I know the California Girls song by Van Halen, Jump. Hot for Teacher. Yankee Rose, is it? But I've never been like a super Van Halen fan. But I feel bad that he passed away. Tool, how is Billy Graham doing? He's stable. Ashley just talked to him today. Someone says Colt Cabana is a stooge. Chris Benoit's son is unreliable and disrespectful. He had agreed to an interview with me and backed out of it. So I don't respect people that waste my time. My time is very precious. Are we going to get an Insane Clown Posse interview? I wouldn't be opposed to it. Mulkey Brothers, maybe. Someone says their governor is communist. You know what? Russia has actually more freedom in this COVID time than us. And this comes straight from Ksenia, the Russian diamond who we've interviewed. They actually have more freedom than this. Oh, California Girls was a Roth solo. There you go. That's how little I know about Van Halen. Would I find it difficult working with these new and up-and-coming talents? No, because I would just beat them down. I would just simply beat them down. Big Trips says Chris Benoit's son is a dork. He'll never make it in the business. I agree. They'll probably push him. Doesn't look like he works out. Wants everything handed to him. Cody and AEW is a clown show. Mr. Big loves Russians. Bro Dog says Trump 2020. Pulsar Light says Putin is a legit judo black belt. I really don't know. I have no idea. Vincent says he hopes New Japan never does business with AEW. Will I be doing a birthday live stream? No. Unless it's just a regular news one. Nicholas Rock does not like Tony Khan. I just find it funny that he thinks he's so cool, but if he wasn't a loaded rich guy's brat, his father is worth billions more than Vince McMahon, actually. None of these wrestlers would hang out with him. You wouldn't have Jim Ross putting him over. They're only after his money. Nacho Man says, I was probably thinking about Beautiful Girls, the Van Halen song. Probably. I'm more of a, I'm not going to say all of it, but I'm definitely a Motley Crue guy more than a Van Halen guy. I won't answer too many more, but I appreciate all your comments. Ray says AEW is basically signing WWE rejects nobody cares about. Alexander Ramos, money mark is the term for AEW. Is AEW worth watching? No, it's not. I tried watching that Luther Jericho match last week, and it was an embarrassment. Mike says no one respects Benoit's son. Sad to say. His best asset is he looks like Chris Benoit for the fans that are still obsessed with him and forgive him for killing his child. Imagine if you're like, I forget if he's 4, 6, definitely under 10. Imagine getting killed by your father after he kills your mother. How scary that would be. But these fans just don't give a fuck about what a monster he is. AEW is basically 2010 TNA with a bigger budget. PW 909 says. Ralph says, hang in there. The COVID should be over soon. That's what we've been hearing. Who's my next MMA interview? Well, I have Rip Rogers, who was a boxer, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Rob Van Dam, a martial artist, Thursday. I don't know who the next one is going to be. Probably Frank Shamrock. Someone says Chris Benoit is trash. I agree. I fully agree. Would I ever review Hogan's Knows Best? I really don't think I could sit through it. I really don't think so. Scotty Phillips, I fully agree with you there. Alexander's looking forward to my RVD interview. Thanks for all your comments, and thanks for the tips for the guy that tips me $5. Really appreciate everything. It all goes towards new interviews. COVID and Lars both sucks, Team Canada says. Ralph says Benoit was a monster. People are really excited about, I don't know who Gordon Ryan is. Interview with Colt Toombs. According to Teal Toombs, my dog Piper's godmother and the brother of Colt, he kind of went off the deep end and didn't take his dad's death well. So he's kind of faded into the oblivion, unfortunately. But I highly suggest you look at my interview with Teal Toombs. And I really enjoyed talking to her. I hope to see Teal in Great North Wrestling. Hopefully they'll let us run again in 2021. You're going to see a greater emphasis on our women's division. And, of course, this weekend, the Forest of Fear is being recorded. So expect those Forest of Fear matches soon on the Hannibal TV.